Hello students, so we will continue with our second mini lecture video. This one will focus on teacher sense of efficacy and student outcomes. And to define teacher self-efficacy is the belief that they are capable to teach their subject even to their most difficult students. And based on couple research, longitudinal studies, and cross-sectional studies, teachers with high self-efficacy increases instructional quality and positive student outcomes. So, looking at the research articles, they have listed a couple of characteristics that categorize them as having high self-efficacy. I did not list all, but here are a few. Encouraging students' autonomy, set high learning goals, use innovative teaching methods, effective classroom management, more involved in informal learning, are persistent and hard workers. So these are some of the characteristics that it classifies teachers having high self-efficacy. And as to cover some of the characteristics that it influences students in positive perspective, is it also raises their self-efficacy, and it makes it higher and it helps it grow. And some of the ways that research states that their self-efficacy grows due to a teacher having high self-efficacy is by having higher levels of effort as a student, being more persistent, more resilient, having lower levels of stress, and are willing to face new challenges in a positive mindset. So why does this matter? Why is teachers' high self-efficacy important, or in general high self-efficacy? Why is it important among students, children, adolescents, and young adults? So it's important because self-efficacy is a significant skill that enhances student achievement and well-being. So again, based on research, teachers with high self-efficacy increase student self-efficacy by students having what I had just listed above. They're resilient, levels of stress, willing to face new challenges. But just besides that, it is important as an educator to acknowledge the power behind your teaching methods. You can have indirect, like indirect states. Observational learning has great impact on others. You could either directly or indirectly influence your students, and though it is as important as children to develop high self-efficacy, is also as critical for emerging adults and adult learners. For example, adult learners face multiple challenges and obstacles that might need an instructor to wear multiple hats, not just to teach an academic subject or in a specific area, but also to motivate, to scaffold, to guide, to open pathways to achieve their ultimate goal. They might be single parents, they might have a full-time job while being full-time students, they might be caregivers, might be the primary resource for income. So there's many factors that can affect a student, especially adult learners. So as teachers, we wear many hats, and I personally believe we have a duty to help them reach those goals, and by being good coaches, providing adequate feedback, and being their own personal cheerleader to accomplish what they have set for themselves. So as a result, I will provide a couple strategies to help you support your your student learners, your adult student learners. And these strategies were developed from the 4 sources to increase self-efficacy. So for example, my first strategy would be feedback, and that's going to target social persuasion. So with feedback, it can be verbal or it can be written, but I suggest making specific suggestions. For example, if you're grading a paper, have your rubric, and as much as you comment in positive aspects, you can comment in areas of improvement, like that a student is seeing this past experience, academic challenge, as balanced. So although they need areas to improve, they can be motivated by, also being able to acknowledge what they're doing right. The second area that I chose to do is instructional material or model, which falls under vicarious experience by learning through observation. So in this instructional material, I mean utilizing various forms of instruction, that incorporate the multiple intelligence theory and the different ways and different areas of intelligence that students possess, or their learning style preferences. So for example, like I've incorporated a video, illustrational models, as well as verbally presenting information. So I think this will help them feel more confident in accomplishing certain tasks because it's represented in various forms to have better understanding. And the number 3 strategy would be to support autonomy. This can be to engage students in decision making when it comes to the course. Like for example, you can give them options as to which way they would prefer to be evaluated at the end of the course: a paper, a presentation, multiple choice question, etc. You can also set assignments that it's hands-on experience, just to get them feeling competent and increase their mental state and a positive outlook on what they can accomplish or build it. And the next one is pep talk. This one falls under performance experience. It can be to your own personal style as an instructor, but for example, you can provide verbal feedback to support, like for example, if they're having challenges in an academic topic or educational challenges. For example, they got a low grade on a test. Maybe you can have extra credit assignments. You can have extra points for making it up, or simply just addressing the area and giving specifications of how to make improvements. So those are 4 strategies that you can incorporate in a classroom for adult learners. And to recap this lesson, I have again another mini quiz that we will do together to review the information that I just discussed. So again, let's do this together. Out of the 4 strategies, pick at least one that can support students facing challenges and increase their academic self-efficacy. So like I had just mentioned, the answer for this one can either be it gives you feedback, model, instructional material, support autonomy, or pep talk. And I give you the answer, obviously, before giving you the options. So it can be either feedback or pep talk, because both will target academic self-efficacy. By feedback, you're providing specific details to make improvements, and through pep talk, you're giving verbal motivational statements. Okay, moving on. Teachers with high self-efficacy increase positive student outcome. True or false? Well, like I stated before, a couple research on this topic cross-section and longitudinal studies correlate in the results, in which states that a teacher who has high self-efficacy reflects students observe that kind of personality and mentality and also apply it towards themselves. So again, students mimic the behavior and their self-efficacy also grows. Setting higher learning goals and encouraging student autonomy are characteristics of teachers with high self-efficacy. True or false? This statement is also true. Data has listed various characteristics that represent teachers with high self-efficacy, and these two are examples of one of what teachers with high efficacy do. And last question, research has found that students with high self-efficacy experience higher levels of stress. True or false? This would be false, because research states that students who have high self-efficacy experience less stress because they have a positive mindset in which they are willing to face new challenges as new experiences, as opposed to having negative perspectives on it and increasing their stress. So for children with high self-efficacy, lower stress levels are lower, as opposed to children with low efficacy, stress levels are higher. So this is it. I hope that within these two lectures you were able to understand the importance of self-efficacy and human agency as instructors, and how we can pave the path for students to grow and be able to handle challenges, as well as have a comprehensive understanding of social cognitive theory and Albert Bandura's core values on this theory and what it represents. And thank you for your time.